Testing pop-off pressure. I purchased the brass fittings at Home Depot, and the brass fittings actually came with a gauge, but it only went up to 15 psi, and this particular carburetor triggered it to a lot higher than that. So I went to the local Leslie's pool store and purchased a jacuzzi oil-filled pool gauge. This one goes up to 36 psi, which is pretty much perfect for what we need. I've also got one of these gauges in another application, so I know that they're fairly reliable. This particular part from Home Depot, and Home Depot has two of these. You have to look on their website and search for it. They have two different models of these, and they're on two different locations in the store, one aisle away from the other. One is with brass, one is with stainless steel or some sort of silver colored metal. I decided on the brass part because all the brass fittings were available to make it work. So I got some cheap vinyl tubing also from Home Depot. Probably not the best tubing to use for this application, but I'm not going to be letting the fuel sit in it for a long time. So I split the fuel line at the valve, cutoff valve, and just put this long hose. I left this long hose on here like this to try to make sure that no pressure, or no fuel rather, gets from the fuel line up into the gauge. And I've got the line down below, and you can see right now it's holding pressure, but there's some movement in the fuel lines, little air bubbles and stuff moving around. Air bubbles climbing up the fuel line, and that's okay. There's just a little bit of fuel in there to make sure that I'm testing the pop-off pressure using the fuel and not just air. So this is the point where the fuel has to come out, and we see a little bit that it's wet right there, and it seems to be bubbling or dribbling a little bit. This particular carburetor looks like it was going up to 20. I'm going to test this again, see if I can catch it on the camera. It looks like it was going up to 20 before it popped off. Now I'm using like probably everybody has, a cheap bicycle pump here, and this thing leaks like crazy while I'm pumping, so I have to pump it up and then pull the nozzle off of the Schrader valve here. Let's see what we can do. Okay, I've got the camera set up now, and been watching this. It's gone down to about 9 psi. It's been a couple of minutes as I was setting the camera up. You can also see that it's dribbling just a little bit on the fuel coming out of the carburetor. I'm now going to set up my cheap bicycle pump here. So this one is one that I have to press on and then pull up to make it work. So we lost pressure just through the fuel pump, or through the bicycle pump. So here we go. Pressurizing. Pressurizing. Now if I stop pumping, just let it stop, it'll go back down. So I've got to add some more. We're still watching the carburetor right here to see when that pressure pops off. All right. That's about 18 right there. 19, 20. $21. So now I'm going to pull the pump off real quick, and we'll see what the hold pressure is. So the hold pressure is about 15, it looks like. I hope that makes sense.